Okay, today we're going to start with a little how-to. I'm going to break this up into a couple of video segments. What I'm getting ready to show you is basically a basic hookah rig. It does not go past probably 5 meters, say 15 to 20 feet is going to be your maximum dive depth. This does not take the place of a PADI class. If you're not comfortable building something like this, do not attempt it. Okay, so things you need. You need a pump. I've got an ACQ 910 pump. We're going to take it apart, check the diaphragm. I already pulled the screws out of it, preset it to basically take it apart and show you how to take it apart. We need to clean all the material and debris out of the inside of this thing. Put it back together, and we're probably going to have to do just a slight amount of touch up on one of the edges in it. It's got a little bit of a sharp edge on the hold down clamp. Okay, next, basically soda. I'm going to use 2 SodaStream CO2 food grade aluminum CO2 cartridges. These right here are going to be my accumulator tank, so we're going to build these up and actually double them together. So what I've got going is I drilled 7/16 holes, tapped them 1/4 MPT through the sidewall. I'm going to put a joint coupler in the middle. I removed the 2 end pieces out of the end, drilled them open 25-30 seconds all the way through, and then opened up the receiving end on both of them to 7/16 tap for 1/4 MPT. That way I can put in my fittings and put Milton Quick Connects in it. Now I'm going to use the Milton Quick Connects V models. They're the high flow models, so they're not restricted like a standard unit. So they got a lot bigger opening. And basically on these, they're a push to connect. There's no trying to pull them back, trying to get them to snap and lock. These are a positive direct clamp style. They're a very good industrial model. Don't laugh because they are purple. I didn't care because they're going to be underwater. Okay, one of the other things you need for future reference on these things is a water separator and a micron filter for this thing. I'm going to put these into a quick connect setup, and I'll put these into my air hose, and basically this will be my water separator and my filtration unit for my breathing. Alright, so a quick DIY on the SodaStream bottles. If you choose to use one of these things, these are pretty simple, pretty basic. They're easy to get your hands on. Most people don't know what to do with them, and they just throw them out. So you can usually find these for $2 or $3. I actually had several of these already on hand for other projects. How you safely take these apart is on the side right here. When you first get these, there's what they call a burst disc in this thing. So in the burst disc, it's got a little pressure chamber here on the side. It's got a little pinhole on the side right here. You can actually crack this with a crescent wrench. And I mean crack, I don't mean just unscrew it and take it out, just crack it. And it will bleed what residual CO2 out of the canister. And you can actually safely remove this. Take a wrench and open this up. Now on the inside of this thing you must have, well, some of the old ones, they're basically going to have a spring, a lower retainer, and the pin that goes into the nozzle that goes through the head. So it goes through and through from the back all the way to the top up here. Very easy to take out. They're really easy to work on, easy to modify. Now I chose to keep my burst disc in place with this, primarily for a future build. If I decide I want to modify this, I can actually have an 1/8 inch MPT and I can put it right into the side here, and I can actually add features to the bottle by leaving it there instead of trying to cut off the end and go past. Okay. Make sure you save your O-rings. Don't trash your O-rings in this thing. So, bottle modifications. I drilled 7/16 hole, 1/4 inch MPT. I'm going to put a close coupling, close nipple in between the 2 bottles, lock them together, So when I set them up, the accumulators will be side by side. I'll have air in, air out. I'm going to use quick connect. Basically this is going to be actually a hookah rig. It's going to be dual purpose. So a hookah rig and for water toys for the kids. I went with this style pump because it's very low amperage. It's pretty easy on batteries. I do not have an engine, so I don't have an alternator. I have a couple solar panels, and that's my charging system on my boat right at the moment. Okay, so I already took a lot of this apart and basically prepped it to kind of show. So when you take this thing off and you open it up, you're going to have an upper valve assembly, your lower valve assembly. Your upper valve assembly in here has just got 4 screws in it. It's pretty simple, and as you can see, it's got a lot of little aluminum flakes in it. So that's one thing that we're going to have to address really fast. So to take out your upper valve assembly, quick screwdrivers work really good for these little projects. Get your small flat blade all set up on this thing, stick it in your screw hole, and you just pop it loose. Okay, when you flip it upside down, you'll see why I wanted to take it out. On the gasket seals in here, you'll see just little flakes of aluminum, things that you don't want to breathe. This is one of the things you want to clean out. And some mild soapy detergent, clean it up, take care of it. And one of the things we're going to address with this is on all these are, this one here, the valve is not that bad. It has sharp edges on it, but it's encased and enclosed inside the main casting. Okay, so over here on your main body, on your main pump body, these are a diaphragm style pump, 160 liters a minute. And these only run, I want to say that they are 120 watts. It's one of the reasons that I chose it. It's very easy on the batteries, so I can basically run for a couple hours on a smaller battery group. Okay, so on your closure ring right here, one of the things we're going to address is a super sharp edge right here. So I'm going to use a little bit of 1000 grit wet and dry sandpaper, and I'm going to clean up the inside edges in this and take all the little sharp edges out of here. Okay, so on your diaphragm right here, got all these little aluminum flakes in it. We need to take some warm soapy water and we need to wash this out, clean it, and reinstall it. The inside of your pump is no different. You need to basically keep this nice and clean, get it all rinsed out. This is your air intake valve right here. It draws air from the inside of the motor case. It's all a sealed unit, so it's nice and easy to take care of. These little pumps right here run about $100. They're not too expensive. Gator gills, the filter and the water separator, they're like 25 bucks from Gator gill. Well worth the investment. Keep your lungs from getting something nasty. Make sure you use oxygen tape with this. This is one of the other ones that get a lot of people. You need to put oxygen safe Teflon tape in these. Do not use standard oil-based Teflon tape. Alright, this is where we're going to stop here for this video. We'll do some mild touch-up on the next go around here. I'll do some assembly, and we'll do a little assembly video here in a couple days, and we'll get it all dressed up and put together. We'll show you how it works. Thank you.